So I'm Andrew Ray. I'm a program chair for Built Environment programs at the West Campus of Valencia College. That includes building construction management, civil surveying, technology, and CAD, which is computer-aided drafting and design. I'm also a licensed architect in the state of Florida. So built environment is anything that people build. So it includes structures, both residential and commercial, but also highways, wastewater treatment plants, all the infrastructure. So that's built environment, and that's kind of an umbrella sort of term that we use. But we teach construction managers, people who manage construction projects. They do the scheduling and the estimating and hiring subcontractors and just overseeing the project. I served as construction manager with Habitat for Humanity back in the 90s, building houses in Paramore and Winter Park for Habitat Orlando. And I had about 3 years of working with Habitat, but about a year and a half of that was as their hired manned construction manager. And so I got a lot of experience in building homes. And I certainly recommend to all young people that they might want to learn how to use a hammer, a screwdriver, even some power tools so that they can maintain their own place. So my undergraduate was from Western Michigan in Kalamazoo, and I was close to being a shop teacher, but they've done away with kind of shop programs quite a bit. I think they were afraid of people cutting off their fingers and stuff. So I went a different direction and was an architectural drafter, worked for architects for a while, and then went back to school and got my master's in architecture from Texas A&M, which is where I met my wife. And she and I are both licensed architects for the last 30 years or so. And that gave me, the experience of building made me a better architect because I understood how things fit together. But anytime you can spend on a job site to see the process, the sequential nature of building, that you have to start from excavation and foundations and work your way up, and then the last spot is all the finishes. And some people are only interested in the finishes, but there's a whole sequence that has to be done, and managing the cost and the time and equipment and manpower and all of that was part of the fun of that. And I learned enough from building other homes for people that I acted as owner-builder. So my wife designed it, I acted as owner-builder. We built our own house next to Boone High School, and all out of light gauge steel, and that was a good experience. And within architecture, it's an interesting thing because there's a wide range of different areas you can go into. When I was in school, my drafting instructor said, your work would be better if you got some art training. So I ended up with a minor in art, an extra 10 classes in art, and almost chose a career path as an architectural illustrator doing rendering. So there's a very artistic side to architecture, and then there's the designers, and then there's the people who understand how it fits together. And at one point in my career, I spent a year writing specifications, which is technical writing, and it's very dry, but extremely important because one word in the spec can be hundreds of thousands of dollars in cost. So, and it really helped me to understand exactly how all the parts fit to a building and all the things that go into it. So there's lots of career paths along the way. As I said, many of our students come to us and study estimating or scheduling. They learn the materials, and they can go out and do any one of those, be an estimator, write specifications, work as a superintendent for a contractor. And then the other side, the CAD, is computer-aided drafting, and they can do mechanical kind of drawing, which is engine parts, if they like automobiles, or anything from cargo loading equipment for the airline industry is one business that's in town that's on our advisory council. So there's lots of opportunities within that for mechanical drafting, architectural drafting, structural, electrical. So there's lots of career paths in that. And that's mostly in the office, working with computers and software, but understanding materials and how metals and plastics and all that work. We have a lot of 3D printers now, which is more interesting to work in plastics and injection molding and that kind of thing. Then on the The civil surveying side, a lot of surveyors start with some of the field work that you see out by the highway, and they have a total station on a tripod, and they're measuring angles and all that. But they're also spending a lot of time in the office now on computers doing terrain modeling, and they use drones and 3D scanners and some really interesting, very high-tech stuff. It's very difficult for us to get young people to go into it. I think they only see the person out there in the sun, but that experience that you get doing a little bit of manual labor helps you understand the process so much better, and you're more valuable to somebody in an office if you've actually done it. It's a whole other thing to just learn it out of a book. So that's why I think it's important to get some experience with that. And there's a lot of, the soft skills they want is good communication skills and creative thinking, being able to work out problems for yourself rather than bothering somebody every 5 minutes. How do you do this? When you first start out, if you don't know how to do something, we always recommend maybe save up a list of questions and go to somebody and say, these are the things I need to know so that I can keep going, rather than pestering them every 5 minutes. So those are some of the skills, but just being able to think on your feet and problem solving, that's a lot of what we do in construction. Never turns out exactly how you think it's going to. There's always going to be hiccups, especially if it's an existing building. You have no idea what's really there until you open it up, and then you find out.